I knew it was there, I knew it was a good thing, but it wasn't something I really thought much about, like just as a kid or even as a teenager trying to figure out what I was going to do in the world. It was just, sky is blue, grass is green, the union had our back. I only really thought about it unless my dad went on strike, or went to the Capitol to go yell about Scott Walker, or yeah, Jersey showed up for that one. At least South Jersey. It's my last Jersey thing. And I do remember him complaining about like long, boring meetings. And in retrospect, I'm like, oh, he was warning me. But it was okay, because it was always worth it. It always worked out. And honestly, it wasn't until I was in my early teens and my mom collapsed at work one day that I fully realized how much a union job can mean to a working class family like mine. At the time, she worked in my high school cafeteria. And don't worry, she was much cooler than I was. She was like friends with all the football players, and I was, Hot Topic was kind of the only game in town. There used to be a lot of eyeliner happening. That's where she worked. And one day I came home from school and my grandma was there, and I asked where my mom was, and she told me, oh, there's something wrong with her brain. She's in the hospital. My mom had a brain aneurysm. And she spent a year in the hospital. And by the time she came home, her medical bills were up around $250,000. And without my dad's union health insurance, that would have been the end of us, Like the union, it saved us, and it truly did save my mom's life. And that was hard, and it still is. She's around, she's still here. Shout out to operating engineers local 885 for that one, honestly. And to the nurses and doctors that made sure that she did come home eventually. So years later, when I was working at this media company in New York City, my coworkers asked me how I felt about starting a union there. And my first thought was, oh, thank God. Because, I don't know if you've heard of a company called Vice. Look, after they laid me off, it went real downhill. But even when they hired me, it wasn't, we really needed a union, suffice to say. We read the newspapers. But when we had that conversation, I just jumped at the chance to get involved, and I ended up in every meeting and every bargaining session, every opportunity I had to just jump in and learn more and get to know our organizers and our labor lawyers and our executives in the council, just everything. It was the most fascinating thing in the world to me. I would joke, like, labor became my new favorite band because coming out of this, at that point in time, I never really thought I would get an opportunity to join a union or be part of that movement, even if I was from that in terms of my family tradition, because I was a music journalist. I wrote about death metal on the internet. And which is sick, but it was not right. And I never really saw myself as a worker or as someone who was part of anything, really. I was just trying to do what I thought was cool and make a living. It wasn't until I had that experience of working with my coworkers